So I'm recording this on my iPad, fucking get over it. Knowing yourself is the first step to spiritual development. Applying yourself is the second. Applying yourself according to what you find after you journey into your soul, after you journey into the depths of who you are and who you've been up to the point that you decided to journey into yourself. Whatever you come out with, whatever truth, whatever revelation you come across, that is what you need to operate through. Today I had the fucking crazy idea to do a quick little mini 3 to 4 question shadow work prompt live, kind of live, recorded, where instead of me just finding a corner to sulk in and journaling out with a piece of paper and pen, I decided I would just do it in front of a camera and, maybe pretend I'm talking to somebody and pretend a bunch of people maybe are going to see this. So who knows? I should probably give you a quick introduction of who I am. My name is Elijah and I do sales stuff. I lead a sales team. I'm trying to get my team to make a lot of money so we can all be happy. And I've always been the kind of person who, bro, I'm gonna be honest, I don't even know what the fuck I'm talking about right now. Let me just go ahead and get started. First question: how much of yourself do you let the world see? It really depends. It depends on who I'm around. I think certain qualities, and I don't know if this is a bad thing or not. I've actually been thinking about this for a little bit. I tend to only show parts of myself according to who I'm around, right? So if I'm around a certain friend group, it's how you got different jokes for each friend group, or you send a different meme to a different friend group according to what you know what I'm saying? That's kind of how I operate. I show mostly what I'm comfortable showing to those people, because the thing is, I can blend in with a lot of different people. It's a weird kind of conundrum, a weird paradox. The more you might be a social butterfly, but you lose, at least for me, the way I've lived my life up until this point, I'm realizing now through this fucking shadow work, is that I have become a fractured version of myself. My identity, my true identity, so to speak, whoever I truly am under all the different masks that I wear, it has been neglected and deprived of light for so long that it hasn't been able to grow. It's still just a child under this mask, waiting to be seen and to be heard. So damn, first question in, we're going in, we're going deep. How much of yourself do you let the world see? Why do I do this? Is the question that just kind of came to mind. Why do I only show certain parts of myself? And the first thing I can think of is fear and shame. I'm afraid that when people see me for who I am, maybe for whatever fucking reason, I won't be accepted, or maybe whatever. Or I think the better idea, the better explanation is that I've had masks on for so long that I fear I'm going to cross some kind of boundary or some kind of line if I drop my mask with the people I've been holding up my mask with for so long. And the thing is, it's not I'm even super uncomfortable around these people. It's just that I'm not comfortable being fully who I am. So maybe I guess I am still kind of uncomfortable. It's not that they're bad people or anything. It's just who I decided I would be around them. There's a very, very, very small group of people, because I know a lot of people. I'm in the online space. I wouldn't say I made a name for myself, but I have friends who are in really, oh my goodness, I was about to say I have friends in high places. But I have friends who've accomplished a lot of great things, and I'm surrounded by great people and leaders in multiple different spaces. That obviously comes with a lot of pressure to be perceived a certain way. So it's not only the pressure that I face being in my social circles, but it's the pressure that I face in my career, in my everyday life. What I do to make a living, I put my face out on the internet and hope that people like me enough to want to work with me. If I act and cross certain boundaries, I fear that it's going to affect my business. And if it affects my business, then it affects my team. And if it affects my team, it affects my fucking emotions. And I can't have that. I can't have that. So it's something that I definitely fear. And I think it is a very big blockage I have in my life right now. And maybe this video is an attempt to break out of that mold that I've placed over my skin. This fucking cocoon that I involuntarily put myself into. I want to emerge. I want to fucking break free from this cage that I've put myself in. All right, next question. Why do I feel the need to compare myself to others? I think this is a good one. I think there is a lot of value in comparison. And it's kind of like a double-edged sword. If it's used in the wrong way, like anything in life, if it's used in the wrong way, it will be damaging, period. There's no ifs, ands, ors, or buts about it. Using comparison in the right way, however, is something I think I would like to shed some light on. The only perspective I can really give you is going back into my workspace and my work environment, the people that I surround myself with. Being in sales, if you want to level up, it gets very competitive. Competition is kind of it's a non-negotiable. There are people, if you're on a certain team, for example, you got to see what the person who's doing the best is doing, and then you got to do what they do and do it better. If your goal is to be the best, you know what I'm saying? Not everybody cares to be the best, but they just want to be good enough to hit a certain level. These are all scenarios in which comparing yourself is safe, and it can be productive. It can help you construct the version of yourself that you want to construct in order to be who you want to be, in order to have what you want to have in life. Because usually what we want, we look to see what others have, and that's how we get the ideas for what we want in life. Instead of just doing the complete opposite and saying fuck you to everybody else and whatever you have and whatever you've achieved, good for you, but I'm trying to do what I want to do. Even then, you are still the act of completely turning your back on society and saying oh, I'm like none of you guys is you know what, who I'm about to call out to illustrate this point? Spiritual people who, because they've ascended and entered, this state of mind in which they are knowing and they start to see the bigger picture, that usually comes with a huge boost in their ego. People will be saying, and I made a TikTok about this fucking today. It's funny that it's coming back up again. But I made a TikTok and I was basically just explaining how people be having ego deaths, but their egos be very much alive. This happens a lot. I feel like this happened with me, and I had to kind of curb stomp that sense of superiority out of myself because it is very unproductive. You think you are so above everybody else because you're different, and you're not. You're different. You're special, but that comes with a responsibility to lead without ego. If you truly care, and you once you are aware of what's really going on in the big picture, the only thing I want to do is help people and serve and be a ball of light and fucking love to people and attract people who want to learn. That's all I want to be able to do, and I want to do so in a way that doesn't drive people away because of my pride. And a lot of spiritual people, I feel like they drive away people who could really serve in building this new kingdom of God that I think is, that I truly do believe is nigh. We're entering some interesting times, and maybe it won't be like we think. Maybe there won't be a fucking rapture and there won't be all these things happening, but something is definitely happening. Look at what's going on with AI and the way people are using it and the advancements in technology. The next 10 to 15 years are going to be really weird. And even if God doesn't come in the next 10 to 15 years, it's going to be a lot of changes happening. And we got to be ready for that spiritually. So the dissolution of ego, the continual dissolution of ego is going to be so important. Sorry, if you don't know me already, what you're going to find out about me is that I go down so many different rabbit holes. The question was, why do I feel the need to compare myself to others? And now I'm talking about ego death and the rapture, the fucking return of Jesus. Next question, and the last question. What are the things I judge others for that I also do myself? I judge people, and I just, I tell people not to judge people. I tell people don't have an ego about things, and I have an ego about things. I get angry about things. I definitely, you know, feel a way about things. But I think what I do relatively well is I don't react when I feel a certain way. I'm lazy as fuck. I'm actually really lazy. And it's weird because I've managed teams that have made a lot of money in the sales world, like a lot of money. And you know, in order to be able to be trusted with teams of that caliber, like you have to have certain qualities within yourself, such as discipline and, you know, like creativity. You have to have an innovative spirit. Like you need to be able to constantly be on the move, constantly be on the ground. I was working like 17 to 18 hours a day. Not every single day, but like often. It was exhausting, but it was so fun. But a lot of the shit that I would get on my team for doing wrong, I was also literally doing. Like there were times where I was, and this is extreme. This is like, forgive me for what I'm about to say, Trey and Trev, if you ever watch this. But there were times where I'd be drinking, like I was spiraling. So I'd be drinking like, you know, alcohol on meetings without people noticing. They probably thought it was like juice, but I was like tipsy on meetings. And I closed some deals under the influence. Like that's, there's some shame I have there, but it's not, you know, like looking back at it, it's like, haha, it's kind of funny. Obviously I'm never going to do that again. But at the time, that's kind of, you know, that's just where I was. And I was telling my team, like, y'all need to be on your shit. Like I felt very, like looking back at some of my meetings with the team when I first stepped into leadership roles, I was kind of a piece of shit, like low key. I think I was kind of a piece of shit. And then I did shrooms and I just started loving everybody a lot differently. And I always had love in my heart, but after I did shrooms, it was like for real. So every team meeting and every training I did with people after that was done through the lens of like, we're here on this earth to love people. So like it peaked out and it bled into all of my trainings, and I think it helped because the team did well. You know, the people I trained are making money or at least on their way to. I have my business that's running now, and I've got clients, I've got people who trust me. My team seems to trust me, so I'm in a good place. I think I've done well since I've started in 2021, 2021, whatever. I know a lot, and I'm trying not to have an ego about it because I also lost everything, and you can lose it at any point. You can be the most highly fucking advanced, intelligent, most evolved, spiritual orb of light, but every day you are that because you are choosing to be, and you can always just easily choose to be the complete opposite. That's it. That's my shadow work for today. That's those are my thoughts. If you fuck with me, go check out my Instagram, go check out my TikToks. I have a couple. Some of them I'm gonna gatekeep from you because they're fucking sacred to me, but if you ever think that you found it, send a screenshot to me somewhere in the DMs, and if it's right, I will tell you. I will, yeah. All right, anyway, you have a good night or a good day wherever you are that you're watching this. You're probably pretty cool if you made it this far. Yeah. Peace.